Hello again, everybody. This is the Hot Rod Man 21, tonight joined by Doom Guy. And let's get back to rambling with Doom. So, every weekend, I would get to rent a game. And it was super cool. And from PS1, and then the PS2 came out, and I got access to that wall of family video. That's where we were. We didn't have the Blockbuster. We had family video. And I would get the game for 5 days. I'd get to play it all weekend long. And then I would get it sometimes during the week after school. Sometimes during the week after school. And that's what I would do. So I got to play so many great games this way. But, one of the last games I ever rented, and that we ended up just buying a week later, Diablo 3 for the 360. Not for the PC. They didn't rent out PC games, obviously, because people can put viruses on those if they really, really try. You can do that. Or, most importantly, and the real reason Mom is like, oh, they can put viruses on that. I'm like, sure, they can, but the more valid excuse is, oh god, is for most PC games you get the activation code, and then once that activation code is used up, you can't use it again. It's a one-time usage thing, so for game rental, it doesn't really work. So, we got it for the 360. I played it Saturday morning, and I think I was sick. And I said, at the time, I don't have a brother, I don't have a sister, and I didn't have online games. And a lot of my friends were, 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away, so I didn't have them over like every single day. It was, maybe once a month. Obviously, Roy came over every day after school, but that was for an hour. So, that was my time and our time to start this channel. And pretty soon I'm going to start a new channel. It's going to be called the Hot Rod Man 21 Archives. And I might throw Roy's name in there, Vegeta 9001, because it's just us pointing a camera at a TV. Obviously you guys are going to choose these videos no matter who's in it, if it's just me babbling like this, or if it's Roy and I, or if it's Tali and I, or if it's Jared and I, the newcomer, or if it's Nick and I. Obviously you guys are going to choose these ones because they're significantly higher quality, but we have days worth of footage that we would set the camera up every day after school, and then we would just hit record every single day for that hour that he was there. So over the course of a week, we would get 5 hours worth of footage. Now that's about 3 to 4 episodes every day, depending on if we went long. So I didn't have the people close by to just say, hey, come over real quick and play a game. We weren't close with our neighbors. They didn't have anybody my age. They had a 3-year-old little girl, and the Derek next to us on the other side, he was single, and he was in his 40s, 30s maybe. I'm not entirely sure. He had some money. He had a Lincoln. He was a super nice guy. We could not have asked for a better neighbor at all. Like, he was the best possible neighbor. And the new neighbors that moved in after him are kind of the reason why we moved out here, which, bittersweet about. Moving away from everything that I'm sure a lot of you have done, just because a lot of people have that lifestyle where they move. And I was lucky enough throughout my whole life to not really do that. I stayed in one place my whole life, and I stayed in the same school district. Elementary school was right down the sidewalk. It was within like 2 minutes walking distance. And his body came off. Oh my god. Please guys, please. 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 Ow. Need health. Need health immediately. Can't believe this is running on Ultra. So we rented Diablo 3. And as uncool as it may seem, oh god, I died. I used to play through games with Mom. And again, as uncool as that may seem, it was a really good memory that I have with her. With my first M-rated game when I was 12, it was Halo Reach. And after a while, I finished the campaign, and Mom was into shooting games, and I didn't really know that until she was like, "Hey Brandon, do you want to try it together?" I'm like, "What? Sure, okay." After that, we moved on to other games. We beat the campaign together. I think we went on the second highest difficulty together. See, Mom has a condition with her eyes where, and this is going to seem very difficult to believe, she can only see in 2D. So she has no depth perception. So video games like this, especially fast-moving ones, really hurt her eyes after a while. So she would have to take frequent breaks, and we had a lot of fun, so it was no problem. But it was also very good therapy for her eyes to do this. She had a surgery on her eyes, like I did when I was in first grade, and I had my eyes uncrossed, and she had something done with her eyes. I'm not too sure, but I believe they made an error in their surgery. So she was left with no depth perception. She can only see in 2D. So think about like Paper Mario. That's a very good example of how she sees everything. I'm not entirely sure how she sees everything. I'm not the word of mouth, and obviously she can't really tell either, because everyone perceives the world in their own way. My red may not be your red. My red may look like your green, so that's a little deep. Anyways, back to the story. So we would play through... Oh, shit, where'd I go? We would play through games together, and mostly the M-rated games had the co-op campaigns, so that's what we would play. We tried Gears of War, and Gears of War 1 was a little hard for her, and actually a little hard for me. That was a very difficult game, especially for like a 12, 13-year-old. We beat Gears of War 3 together, actually. Actually, no, we made it about halfway, and then I think we had to return it, and she lost track of the storyline, so I just finished it myself when I bought it. But other than that, we played so many games together. All of the Halos we played, which was amazing. But what really brought it home was when we rented Diablo 3. And I said, "Hey Mom, it's real relaxed. I think you would really like it." So she picked it up with me, and she gave it a shot for an hour, and then 2 hours, and then 3 hours, and then 4 hours, and then after a while we noticed, wow, where did the day go? And we made it through the entirety of Act 1 together, and we were having a blast. So, and I just remembered where the root of my story was. After a while, it wasn't just, "Hey Brandon, let's sit down and play together." It was, well, first let me say, after a while it was, Mom wanted to play after I went to bed. Where am I going? Where am I going? There's no objective. Mom wanted to play by herself after a while, but she didn't really want to play with herself. Or play by herself, excuse me. You watch it, don't you comment. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Stop right now. That's my mother. Anyways, she wanted to play with someone else. So, she's like, "Hey, Dad," we'll call him. I'm not going to use my parents' real names. I'm going to have that courtesy to them. They still don't like me using my name, Brandon. Or even my last name, which you guys have definitely heard by now. Devrai. So Mom said, "Hey, Dad, you want to try this game with me?" And at first he was very apprehensive, but he was supportive, and we gave it a shot all together at one time because I was really excited to get more than 2 people on it at once. And I'm not too sure about his emotions about the whole thing. I don't know if it was, Mom really likes this, so I'm gonna play it with her, or if it was, he really enjoys it as well. I never quite figured that out. But I know that became their pastime after a while. And they ended up red ringing my Xbox. They decided, oh, it'd be totally cool to play during a storm. We had 60-mile-per-hour winds, and they were like, "No, just one more level." And I was asleep, and I woke up to a red-ringed Xbox, and Xbox no work anymore. Xbox no work anymore. So obviously it was, "Whoa, you guys broke my Xbox," and they were like, "Well, sorry, we didn't know." So they ended up buying their own Xbox, or at least Mom got her own, and it came with Ghosts and a digital download for Black Ops 2, and obviously she got her own copy of Diablo 3, which then she claimed my copy was then her copy, which it was the family copy. So now I bought a brand new copy for myself of Reaper of Souls for the 360. Now, as much as I am a PC Master Race guy, that is a great console port, and I will tell you guys why next time. See you guys later. As always, this has been the Hot Rod Man 21 and Doom Guy. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.